Hey everybody, today we're working on section 1.3 for integrated math, and we're going to talk about how to write equations. In this particular example, this particular worksheet, excuse me, we're going to work with descriptions of situations, and then from that we're going to write an equation and then solve it. Oh, there goes the bell. So that's what we're doing today. So let's start with this first one. So I'm going to read it to you, walk you through the process, and explain how we do it. Okay. So here we go. We got the cooking club made some pies to sell during lunch to raise some money for a field trip. The cafeteria helped by donating 3 pies to the club. Each pie was then cut into 6 pieces and sold. There were a total of 72 pieces to sell. How many pies did the club make? Okay, so there's a few things going on here. One, we want to identify a variable. We want to identify the unknown. Now, it looks like they're asking us for how many pies were sold, right? So, or how many pies were made. So this is more than likely going to be the variable. Okay, so now each pie was cut into 6 pieces. So the pieces themselves were what was sold, and then there's 72 total pieces. All right, so we're going to do p for pies, right? So p is our variable. Now each pie is cut into 6 pieces. So if you take a pie and multiply it by 6, that would be how many pieces you get from each pie, right? So if you have 10 pies, you multiply it by 6, you'd have 60 pieces, right? So this is our variable, and the coefficient is going to be 6. All right, that's going to be the coefficient. This is the rate by which, well, I won't get into that yet. That's the coefficient. We're going to multiply the number of pies by 6, and that'll tell us how many pieces are left. Now it tells us that 72 pieces were resulted. So we know that this is how many pieces we had. Okay, so that's the pieces to sell. This is the number of pies. And this is the pieces per pie. Pieces per pie. Okay. So we just created that equation, right, just by reading this. One of the things I find that makes this a lot easier is if you are able to write on the problem, right? So just being able to circle pies, okay, that's what we're solving for. So this is our equation. Now over here we have they want us to write the equation, so we're going to put 6. They have x, so I'm going to put that as p. You don't need to use x. 6p equals 72. Work to solve the equation. We can do that. We're going to divide both sides by 6, right? So 6p equals 72. Divide by 6. I think this can be 12, right? So p is equal to 12. And p is going to represent the number of pies made. Okay. Answer in sentence. Sure, we could say that there are 12 pies. Okay. There we go. Just let me zoom out a little bit so you can see that label. Okay, so that's the first one. I'm not going to do all of these. I think what I'll do is I'll do the odds, I guess. No, not the odds. I'll do every other problem. This is numbered kind of strangely. Like this is technically 1, this is 2. So I'll just do every other problem. All right, let's go ahead and do the other one here. So you bought a magazine for let me zoom in so it's easier to see. You bought a magazine for $3 and some candy bars for $2 each. You spent a total of $19. How many candy bars did you buy? Okay, so they bought one magazine, right? So the magazine was $3. So magazine, right? And then a bunch of candy bars. And this is going to equal total cost, right? So I'll write this out in words to start. Probably should have done that with the other example. So the magazine's $3. Now the number of candy bars we don't know, but we know it's $2 each. So it has to be 2 times whatever our variable is. In this case, we'll put C for candy bars. And we spent a total of $19. So that's our equation right there. All right. I think I'm actually going to solve it here because there's more room. So we're going to write the equation here. So 3 plus 2c equals 19. You could have 2c plus 3. It doesn't matter. It's commutative. X, we're going to change it to c. Represents the number of candy bars. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and solve this. We're going to get rid of our constant here, which is 3. 19 take away 3 is 16, so 2c equals 16. Divide by our coefficient, which is 2. C equals 8. So they bought 8 candy bars. I bought 8 candy bars. Okay. Let's try another one. Let's go with this one. This is an interesting name. Absara, I think that's how you say it. Abasra. Abasra spent half her weekly allowance on the movies. Wow, a lot of money at the movies. To earn more money, her parents let her clean the windows in the house for $7. What is her weekly allowance if she ended with $12? Okay, this is an interesting one. So, half of the allowance. Right? And then plus windows cash equals $12. So we're looking for the weekly allowance. So this is going to be our variable here, right? So we'll use A, I guess. So half of the allowance plus the windows, which is $7, equals 12. So that's our equation right there. So let's put that up here. So 1/2 A plus 7 equals 12. And A is going to equal the weekly allowance. Or W, I guess, would have made sense. And again, we'll do the work down here. So we're going to get rid of our constant first, which is 7. So we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. So 1/2 allowance equals 5. Yep, 5. Then we're going to get rid of our coefficient here, which is 1/2. So we're going to multiply by the multiplicative inverse, which is 2 over 1, which is 2. So A is equal to 10. There we go. So the allowance was $10, I guess. Yeah. Her allowance was $10. Okay. Let's try this one. The cooking club made some pies to sell at a basketball game to raise money for the new math books. The cafeteria contributed 3 pies to the sale. Each pie was then cut into 5 pieces and sold. There were a total of 40 pieces to sell. How many pies did the club make? Okay, so this is our variable here. We're looking for how many pies. So we're going to change it to P. All right, so okay. So the cafeteria contributed 3, right? So we're going to have the club's pies, and then plus 4, and they're each times 5. Okay, so plus cafeteria pies. Right, so this is how many pies were total allowed to the cooking club, right? They made these ones. These ones they were given. You're going to multiply each of the total of the pies by 5 because you're cutting into 5 pieces, and there were 40 total pieces. Okay, so let's figure this out. Our variable is going to be the pies the club made, so we're going to put C, I guess. Oh, well, I guess we'll put C for club. So 5 parentheses C plus 3, because 3 were contributed. Yep. And then there's going to be a total of 40. So that's our equation. This one's a little more complicated. Zoom out a little bit here. You could also put 5c plus 15 because you can multiply, but let's just start with this because this is the base equation. So 5 parentheses c plus 3 equals 40. And then c will represent the club's pies. Okay. So I could distribute this 5, but I'm actually going to just divide by 5. I actually think that's easier. So c plus 3 equals 8, and then subtract by 3. Again, you could distribute the 5 and get 5c plus 15 and get rid of 15 and then get rid of 5. You could do that, but I think this is quicker, to be honest. So they started with 5 pi's themselves. And the club made 5 pi's. Just makes me think about pi's. Alright, so we'll do one more. How old am I if 500 reduced by 3 times my age is 206? Okay, so we're looking for the age. So, I guess age. My age. Well, this isn't going to be true, I hope. 500 reduced by 3 times my age. Okay, so 500 reduced to subtraction 3 times my age. So 3a, and that equals 206. Okay, so I'll put this over here. 500 minus 3a equals 206. So what a lot of people do is here they put 3a minus 500. So this is, you got to be careful about how you read this. 500 reduced by, yeah. So let's get rid of the 500 first, get rid of our constant, so minus 500. And I believe that will be 306, negative 306. Yeah. No, not 306, sorry, I totally screwed that up. My brain's not functioning. Let's see here. So 500, oh, minus 206, 294, yeah, okay, geez, basic math, man, oh man. So 294 negative, so equals negative 294. So negative 3a equals negative 294. And now we have to get our coefficient, which is negative 3. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. And by the way, you can tell that this is divisible by 3 because if you add these digits up, it adds into something that is divisible by 3. So 2 plus 9 is 11, 11 plus 4 is 15, and 15 is divisible by 3, therefore 294 is divisible by 3. It's a nice little trick you can use. So 294 divided by 3. Oh my gosh. I swear I can do this. There you go. 98. Now, you'll notice these are both negative, so a negative divided by negative is a positive. So equals positive 98. Okay. That's an old person, I guess. Pretty venerable. Okay. My age is 98. Just kidding. Alright, so yeah, that's just a few examples of how to create equations and how to solve equations being given some written information. So hopefully that was helpful. If you've already tried the odds, I hope this helped out, and otherwise good luck with the evens. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.